This week on the podcast, Carrie's sharing her adventures from California. It wasn't all just Disneyland. She was antiquing, Universal Hollywood, and Knott's Berry Farms? Yeah, stay tuned to hear all about it. You're listening to the Pixie Dust Fan Podcast. Hi, I'm Francine.
And I'm Carrie.
We're two best friends who can't stop talking, usually about Disney stuff.
Sometimes we have fascinating guests, and sometimes it's just us. But it's always positive and fun.
We're happy to have you join our chat. Thanks for listening, and let's get started. Well, welcome home, traveler. How are you?
Well, hello there. Howdy.
Hey. I feel like I was going to say welcome home, world traveler.
But I didn't go to the world.
I know. That's why I stopped.
I just went to faraway lands.
That's why I stopped. I was like, how are you?
I'm all right.
Good. We got a lot to talk about this week.
I guess we do.
We do, but it has been a while since we've had some chit chat. We've been a bit behind and negligent on our chatting schedule. I feel like I haven't talked to you in forever. We say this every week, but this week I feel like it was especially difficult for us to kind of connect.
Yeah. We didn't chat too much, and then I was away, so we chatted once when I was away, and then we chatted before, so it's been a while. We are disconnected.
We are. We've been very disconnected, but we purposely didn't chat about your trip when you came home because we wanted to talk about it on the podcast, and
tell everyone about it because I didn't tell anybody about it because again, it's the whole jinxie.
I know, Carrie, honest to goodness, it's because it's okay, so Carrie went to Disneyland, but she didn't tell anybody. So we were recording the podcast episodes and you had everything booked, your flight, everything, and you were telling no one.
Correct.
Because you were afraid you were going to jinx it.
Jinx it. Well, and it's so easy to jinx now, and you have to pass a test before you can leave your country.
So you were worried about all that, and then so you didn't tell anybody.
Yeah. So surprise!
Yeah. Surprise! Carrie went to Disneyland. So before we get talking about your trip,
yes,
we got a review.
Oh.
We got a new review on Apple Podcasts, Carrie. This is the stuff that brings us pixie dust.
It is. It does. Do tell. Why can't we should do it at the end? No, I'm just joking. Do it at the end around that pixie dust time.
I know, but then whose pixie dust is it? If the review is for both of us. Okay. This is not your get out of pixie dust free card.
You read it now.
Okay, but hang on a second because I have it on my phone and even with my glasses, Okay, so this is from MWTRN via Apple Podcasts in the US. And it's 5 yellow stars. Woohoo! And the title is Wednesday Joy. So this is what they wrote. I look forward to my Wednesday commute the most because of Francine and Carrie. I feel like I'm calling my friends to have a Disney chat on the way to work. The sheer joy that exudes from their friendship and Disney bond is so refreshing in our world today. I adore the fun they have, the Disney insight they give, and most of all, how they add fun in every situation.
We try our best.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So thank you so much for that review. Honestly, we subscribe to this service that tells us when we get new reviews. It sends out an email once a week and it lets us know our stats and blah, blah, blah. And then it tells us if we got any new reviews. So it's always very exciting when that email comes in and we see a new review and we're like, yay. And then I immediately screenshot it and send it to Carrie and be like, yay. And then, it just kind of makes our day.
It does.
It does. So thank you so much for that. And I'm glad you enjoy listening. Wednesdays are fun because of us. Who would have thought, Carrie?
Yeah, it's a good thing we picked Wednesdays. It just gets you through that, gets you over that hump.
Right in the middle of the week. Yes. Okay, so Carrie.
Yeah.
We're gonna get over let me ask you this. Are you going to be this way about every trip? Go forward, where you plan a trip to go somewhere and then you don't tell anybody? Like, is that sort of the Carrie MO?
That's my MO.
Go forward. Is this the MO? Go forward.
Maybe. Unless really? I'm traveling with you, because you're going to tell everybody, but like
I tell everybody, yeah.
Like I do believe in the jinxies that it might. so maybe if it's stuff that I'm doing alone, quite possibly that I won't say anything. Like I planned a dream trip to go to Paris years ago, and a volcano blew the day that I was supposed to fly, and my trip never happened, and I never went on that trip. So like maybe that's where the jinxie comes from, the fact that like I had every minute detail booked for like a 12-day vacation or however long it was, and then I didn't get to go on it.
Smoke, like literally.
Yeah, like the air traffic stopped for days.
I remember. I think my niece was there during that on a school trip and couldn't get home.
Yeah. So that's probably probably the underlying reason to why I don't. So
that's what has you paranoid.
When I'm there. I'm not necessarily paranoid, but I just think I don't want to be like telling everybody I'm going somewhere and then have to tell them your volcano story.
Yeah. So you got there. So you got there without a hitch.
Yeah, but I was anxious because I was like, what if I fail my test and then...
and then I can't go.
But I passed. I passed my test.
Of course you did.
I didn't leave the house for the last 14 days before, but I've
oh my gosh, I know.
Crippling anxiety that I'm not going to pass my COVID test.
Carrie, when are you doing your test? It was like all timed down to the wire, but Carrie's like, what if I don't pass? Carrie, who have you seen? Where have you been? You've done nothing.
Yeah, and I did one of the, I did the telehealth appointment. So, because here, everywhere you go, they're giving you free COVID tests, like the little green boxes of COVID tests. So you can use your at-home COVID tests as long as they haven't been opened yet. And you pay for a telehealth appointment. So I paid for my telehealth appointment first thing in the morning the day before and got it done. It was done in like no time flat. I had the email in my inbox, and then I uploaded it when I did my online check-in with Air Canada, and then it said it wasn't, like they said they had to verify it. And so they didn't verify it until the next day. And I was like going, are you going to let me know soon? Because like, do I have to go to a Shoppers Drug Mart on the way to the airport? Like, will you tell me when I get there? Like, if my test isn't verified, like, I don't know, they didn't recognize it. Like, I don't know why. I don't know why it took so long. But anyway, so I did middle of the afternoon the next day. I got the message that said that it was accepted and uploaded, and I was all good. But I was like, geez, like give me some notice.
Yeah, that's anxiety inducing.
Like it should be. It should. There wouldn't be any reason unless my photo wasn't proper. Like they couldn't read it or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
it was all good. So you went to Disneyland without me.
Yeah, flew on my favorite Air Canada out of Terminal 1 out of Toronto. That beautiful big terminal. You get your 5,000 steps just getting to your gate.
I know, and 5,000 getting back when you come home. It's insane, that terminal.
But I love it.
I know you do. So you flew Air Canada without me. But without you, so everyone, I did not go. Carrie went without me. Go on. Carrie went to Disneyland without me. So where did you stay?
So we stayed in 4 different locations over not very many
Talk
more
about
nights.
Resort hopping.
I know, it's a little too much, but it was all right. It was good to experience different hotel. So the very first night, we flew late in the evening, and we went to stay at the Hilton Universal in Hollywood because we were going to Universal Hollywood the next day.
And
so that was nice.
How was it? Like Universal Hollywood?
I loved it. Like totally loved it. And I think if you're a humongous fan of Orlando, where it's 2 parks and it's ginormous and there's all those rides and attractions, like I could see you being a little disappointed. But I think like someone who doesn't love all those Universal rides. There's some of them there, but they have like the backstage, what do they call it? The studio tour or whatever. Like they have the old school studio tour, which is, I'm sure over the years has gotten a little, less cool and more, commercially or whatever.
Like, do they have a lot of those simulator things?
They like a lot of the rides are like they have a Harry Potter world. They have Hogwarts there, so they have a Harry Potter section. They have a Simpsons area. They have the big Jurassic Park ride. They have the Transformers ride. So all of the rides are probably the same or very similar to the Orlando parks, but very like it's tiny in comparison. But the way that it's built is that it's sort of built on a mountain, and I know like people that are from California or from that area may not say it's a mountain, but like to us in Southern California, I think it's a mountain. So like they have an upper lot and a lower lot. So when you walk into the park, you're in the upper lot, and there's some attractions and streets and like, Simpsons Land, and they have the Life of Pets or that movie Pets. They have that there. They have all their little areas up in the upper lot. And then you take like 3 ginormous escalators down to the lower lot. And so you're pretty much going down this, what I'm going to call a mountain, to the lower lot. And the lower lot has a Jurassic Park ride, and I think the Transformer ride, and some things in the lower lot. But when you're going down and up these escalators, like you look up and down and you feel like you're going straight up in the air. Like that's how
oh my goodness.
It's very cool. And
like
then
it's that steep.
It's very steep, and then when you get to the various levels, like there's lookouts. So the one main lookout, you look out and you can see Walt Disney Studios. You can see some of the other studios, a beautiful golf course. Like you see the other,
wow.
The mountains and other things in the distance. Like it's like to me, I wanted to go just for that experience. As silly as it sounds, I knew that it was built that way, and I wanted to go down those escalators, and I wanted to see that experience and get down to that lower lot. That was the reason I wanted to go in. Like, if I would have went in for a couple of hours, just done that and left, I would have been happy, because that's what I really wanted to see. But we went, and we ended up spending pretty much the whole day, because we had to go to Anaheim afterwards, and we had said to the fella at the bell desk, like, what's the time? Like, if we want to leave, like, when should we leave? Like, if we want to leave in the middle of the day, what's the threshold for leaving? Or how late should we wait? And the guy was like, well, spend your whole day at Universal. And we were like, we're going to spend the whole day at Universal? And he says, well, if you don't leave before 3:00, you need to stay till after supper time. So we were there the whole day. Like we only rode a couple of attractions.
Was this for like a shuttle or something, you mean?
No,
for them to pick you up?
Because of the traffic. Sorry, the traffic. We had to go to Anaheim, so we're talking traffic, right? So for example, if we would have taken an Uber at 4:00 in the afternoon, it would have cost us $130.
Right.
If we wait till 8:00, it cost us $60 to take an Uber. So it was and
that's
the time
the traffic
too. So that's
stuff
what we
there.
wanted to. So anyways, we went on 2 or 3 attractions. We looked through all the shops. We watched a couple of the shows. We did the back lot tour. And, really just took lots of pictures and had fun. And we spent almost the entire day. We were there at opening, and we almost closed the park. We went to their little Universal City Walk and walked that. And by the time we walked out, it was closed. Like the parks were closing and everybody was leaving. But you stay at those Universal, the hotels that are right there, and you literally can walk in 5 minutes to get to the park. So if anybody wants to do that, that is the best thing to do. Honestly, it is amazing. And even, I think it would be a good spot even to have it would only need to stay one night if you were just going to do one day in the park. But even if you were kind of from out, you're being a tourist, I think you could even use that as a hub to see some other things. Like if you wanted to go the next day to Hollywood, or you wanted to do some other little trips from there, I think it would be a decent spot, because, it's a Hilton. It's kind of away from some of the touristy things. It's not on Hollywood Boulevard or around that area. I think it would be a good place to even stay put for a night, or an extra night if you wanted to do some stuff in the area. So it was really cool and
nice.
And I would definitely do it again. Especially if I was with anybody that wanted to check it out. I wouldn't hesitate to go back. And like I said, we went on 2 or 3 rides and did 2 shows and just walked around and looked at stuff.
That's awesome.
And it was good.
So that was your first hotel was there.
Yeah. And then we went so when we got back to, after the park closed, we knew that our hotel had had an outdoor restaurant to for golden hour. So every night you can go out and they have appetizers and drinks and happy hour and whatever. So we waited. We knew that was happening. So that was our plan, to get back after the park closed and then have dinner in the beautiful golden hour time. And then after that, we got on we took a lift and went from there to Anaheim, and we stayed at the JW Marriott in Anaheim.
Oh, and you like that Marriott.
So that's so beautiful.
I think we've talked about this before, but Carrie has a thing for Marriott hotels. She loves Marriott hotels.
And I'm just going to tell you right now, the JW Marriott in Anaheim, or Disneyland, is my boo. Like, it was so funny. I was looking out the window. From the window of the JW, I could see the Anaheim Marriott Convention Center, and that's my one true... That was always my one true love. I would look over and I'd be like... And when I looked out the window and I said, Anaheim Convention Center Marriott, I'm coming for you, boo. Because I was going to stay there later in the trip. And then, like, I laid on that JW bed, and then I was like, oh, it's like... It's sweet homecoming. But it's a beautiful... I need to stay there once.
Resort. Like, next time I go, like, I have to spend some time there. Because you go on and on about this JW Marriott, I have to stay there.
They're just comfortable, that's all. And they're not that far away. And, you know, it's a little bit more reasonably priced than the Disneyland on property ones. And they're comfortable.
Yes. So, right. Okay.
Yeah, me and my Marriott. So we stayed at the JW Marriott for just a night. And then the next day, we took a lift over to the Disneyland Hotel, because we stayed 2 nights at the Disneyland Hotel.
Nice.
Checked our bags with bell services, and then we took a lift to Knott's Berry Farm.
Yeah,
you see, I've taken it, like, I've left you at home, but I've done all these things that you have no interest in doing.
I gotta say, I'm quite thankful for that. So thank you, because I literally, when you tell you, if I'm honest, you sent me a message that said, today we're going to Knott's Berry Farm, and I had to Google it to find out what it was. If you guys could see the disgust on Carrie's face right now. I was like, she's like all excited. I'm going to Knott's Berry Farm today. And I'm like, that's awesome. Have a great time. And then I'm over Googling, what is Knott's Berry Farm? So can you tell the people listening, because they may not know.
Who doesn't, that, you don't want to go to anywhere but Disneyland. I'm not surprised that you don't know what Knott's Berry Farm is. But Knott's Berry Farm is a theme park that's just around the river bend from Disneyland. And it's actually older than Disneyland. I believe they claim they're like the oldest theme park in California. It's been around forever. Walter Knott was the man that started Knott's Berry Farm. Him and another Walt, I think, were buddies. They kind of, checked out with what each other was doing or whatever. So it's just an old theme park. It's sort of half like Canada, like for Canadians, like half like a park like Canada's Wonderland, and half a park that's themed sort of like something you'd expect at a Disneyland. So they have like roller coasters and regular theme park, but then they have like a ghost town. So the ghost town's like an old Wild West town. So that's what I really wanted to see, because thanks to YouTubers like Justin Scard and his Random Land, he's shown us all about Knott's Berry Farm and all the cool things to do there. So I really wanted to go and check it out. And it's the Boysenberry Festival. So it was like, why not go? Like, Fran's not here, so she's not going to say no. And there's a Boysenberry Festival. So I took the opportunity. Boysenberry? So I guess the story with Knott's is that back when, like, I don't know, in the 20s or whatever, it was a farm. Like, he ended up having a boysenberry farm. He got like a boysenberry is a cross between like a raspberry and a blackberry or whatever. Some man.
So it's like a real berry.
Yeah, it's a real berry. Some man like put these two berries together, and then they called it a boysenberry, because I think his name was like Joe Boysen.
It's kind of like Albert Galt. Like
okay, yeah, exactly. Anyway, so Walter Knott and his wife, they had a farm in that area, and I think like they had a boysenberry farm, like they started to grow these berries and whatever, or maybe there was other stuff, I don't know. But I think the way that with Justin Scard, like I said, I've watched all his videos over and over again about this stuff. Like his wife, Walter's wife, had like a chicken restaurant on site, like a fried chicken restaurant, and it was so popular, like they built like the chicken restaurant was so like popular that people driving through and stopping would drive through and stop and have chicken at a restaurant, and then it grew into like stores and other things around the chicken restaurant, and then I think it turned into like the ghost town, and then it just kind of grew and ended up being like a full theme park. Like they've got a train just like Disneyland there, a steam train like around the ghost town and all that stuff.
Wait a minute. So it started out as a chicken shop. Knott's Berry Farm started as a chicken shop.
They had a farm. And they were selling like berries or whatever. And then, but the wife has like her famous fried chicken recipe. So they put a restaurant on.
People would come to get the berries, and then they put the fried chicken site.
They made Mrs. Knott's had her own restaurant. You're making fun of me.
No, I'm not making fun of you. I'm just trying to understand the progression of the park.
Is that it all started really with her chicken, with her chicken restaurant. Like she had a fry, and the restaurant is still there. Like people go and like there's.
Did you have some?
No, we didn't go for dinner.
Wait a minute. So you mean to tell me you went to this whole flippin' thing about a place that started with fried chicken, and you didn't go get fried chicken?
Well, I thought that'd be the way I could lure you there in the future. Because I didn't want you to be like, oh, Carrie, you said the fried chicken was good. I think I'll be like, do you want to go try Mrs. Knott's fried chicken?
Fried chicken?
That's how I would get you there. No, we didn't try the fried chicken because truth is that we went for like the Boysenberry Festival they have like in the ghost town, they transformed the ghost town to the Boysenberry Festival. So they have booths just like at the Food and Wine Festival. And then they have all kinds of like local merchants and artisans that have booths that you can buy stuff. So like they transform it to be like this little festival. There's purple boysenberry decorations all over the place. And we bought the tasting card. So the tasting card, you could, like there might have been 8 tabs on it. So you could use, the tabs to get drinks or to get food. So we had done that the whole day. So we had 2 tasting thingies and we used them all. So there was no going for chicken after spending the day using all of our tabs from our festival. So anyways, we didn't have the chicken. We did the Boysenberry Festival. I was very excited to see the ghost town and see it in person. I probably would go again for, like for the Boysenberry Festival again in the summertime. They have they have something, I think it's like Ghost Town Alive. So like they have the ghost town filled with actors, and like they have it operating as if it was a operating town. Like they've got all kinds of extra actors and cast members like playing parts and doing things and whatever. So I probably would go back to do to experience something that was going on with the ghost town. Like the other side of the park is really like kind of an old school, like a theme park,
like an old school theme park.
Like, you know, there's a couple of neat rides, like there's an old log ride, and there's a couple old dark rides maybe. So that would be okay. But generally, like I wouldn't do anything in the park. I probably would just go to Ghost Town. But it's like it cost $75 when we bought our tickets online. So for people that want something else to do, and if you had kids that liked rides, or you liked rides, like the other types of rides that I wasn't interested in, or you at all, you know, were a fan of, like, you watch the stuff on YouTube like I did, like you can go in for the day and kind of check it out. So it's, you know, compared to paying for, you know, park admission for other places, it was really not that bad. So I think I would go for sure if I had, if I had a willing participant that was interested in, we could go to, you know, if there was a festival going on, I probably would definitely go again. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So
I liked it.
This is pretty eventful. So this is all before you even arrive at Disneyland.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so we've been to the Universal Hotel. We've been to the JW Marriott. Now we've been to Disneyland Hotel.
Yeah, we spent 2 nights at the Disneyland Hotel. My first time staying there.
And?
It's lovely. We didn't really spend a lot of time at the resort because we were park heavy. Yeah. We did the parks 3 days in a row. So, you know, we forced ourselves to like walk around and we ate at the Tangaroa Terrace for breakfast one day, and we did a walkabout to take a few pictures and look for some Disneyland cats. But other than that,
now the terrace, I think we've eaten there before. We had dinner there once, I think.
Mm-hmm. Breakfast was awesome.
The breakfast looked good. The picture you sent, the breakfast looked really good.
It was really good. But I think, like, with that resort, like, it's awesome to be so close to the parks. And you're just as close if you stay across the road, but you don't have to deal with... You're closer if you stay across the road and go in the entrance by the bus loops. Like, the distance is closer. But, you know...
I think we'll agree to disagree. I think next time we'll go and do the steps.
But the security line from that side, like, to get through is minimal in comparison. Like, it takes seconds instead of maybe having to wait 20 minutes on the other side. But it's really important, I think, to make sure you give some time to really enjoy the resort, because you spend a lot of money to not do it, like, to really not enjoy it, right? Like, you know, you could, even if you wanted that Disneyland stay, but you couldn't maybe do it for your whole trip, like, you could stay off site for your heavy park days and then spend a night or two on site and do a little bit of parks, but really, like, enjoy the pool and explore the resort and do what the resort, you know, just relax at the resort and really enjoy it. Like, there's so many the pool's amazing. And there's just areas to kind of lounge around and hang out. And even in the hotel, like, all of the old, like, I've been through the hotel many, many, many times. I just haven't stayed there. But, like, all of the old, like, the photos they have, and, like, the little, like, in the convention area, they have all of the display of all the old Disney toys and stuff. Like, you really need to take some time to enjoy that stuff and look at it and hang out by the pool, or because
and appreciate the history in it.
Yeah,
there's so much history in it.
It's a lot of money to stay there to be park warriors and not
enjoy the room
sleep
at night and sleep.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, but it's lovely, and nice. You know, we'll be staying there again in September. Yes. We have it booked.
Yes, so, I've never stayed. That's for the expo. I'm so excited.
So yeah, it was good. It was good.
Good. Okay, and then your last hotel was what?
The last
Convention
hotel I went
Center
to the
Marriott?
to the Anaheim Marriott. I stayed there for a couple more nights.
More nights.
Because you can't stay at the Disneyland Hotel the whole time.
Exactly. Okay, so let's talk about your park days. What was new? What was exciting? What just felt like home that you were so excited to see?
Yeah, I don't know that. I'm trying to think if there was anything that was new. Like, I realized when I got back and I was watching some of the YouTube videos of the regular folks I watch where they show that what the parks are like, that we there was a lot of scrim up, like, I think just a week before we got there. So there was still some things that were covered up or whatever, like Pirates is down, which is a huge thing there, but it seemed like the week before there was like quite a bit more. So I think we were lucky, and I didn't even realize it, that what we were seeing was a lot better than what it would have been a week or so before. But I don't know that there's anything new. Like, we got to do the Food and Wine Festival at DCA, which was awesome. It is a really great festival.
Yes.
That's all I got to say. They got their little tasting cards. They've got entertainment all over the place. Really, really, really enjoyed it a lot.
Nice.
Like, so much more manageable than, like, a bigger... Like, it gets crazy and busy there, but yeah. Like, that's I love the part Epcot of festivals, but...
Yeah, that's the part of Epcot festivals I don't like. Like, they're so crazy crowded. That's why I don't really like Food and Wine anymore.
And this is crowded too. Like, it's definitely, like, DCA is crowded way more than it ever is because of the festival, but it's still a little bit different because there's only so much of it too, right? Like, there's, like, it's only a little, like, it's a strip of the park where they have all of the booths. So that's all that it is. And it is busy, but I don't know. It just seems a little bit different. Like, it maybe because it's busy, but I don't know that it can be big enough to be overwhelming because it's only so much. Right?
Yes, that's true.
So, like, you can, like,
at Epcot, if you're tasting, you're actually moving. So you're moving around World Showcase. But this one, like, that strip, you're kind of like you're picking up something to eat and drink, but then the next one is quite close by. Like, it's not as spread out. So that kind of makes it feel like there's more people, but they're more congregating and just kind of hanging out than being, like, totally packed. Like at Epcot.
And they have lots of spaces where you can little tables set up here and there so you can stop and eat. I do, I can't help it. You have to find a trash can and eat on a trash can at least once.
That's like a Disney rite of passage, that if you're not eating a meal on a trash can, then you didn't really go to the festival.
Yeah, but they have entertainment happening and live music, and it's just really decent. I really like it. The one thing you can do is you can go to any of the booths and order what you want. So you can get the little festival book or get your on your tasting card. It has all the stuff that you can order. You can go to one booth and order 6 things. And then when you want them, you just go to pick them up. You know what I mean? You can order anything. You can order everything from just one booth. So you can go up to the booth that has the shortest line. Say you were going to do your tasting card and you were going to do 4 things, and then you were going to go back and do 4 things the next time you visited. You could just say, okay, I'm going to do these 4 things, go to the one that has the shortest line, order the 4 things, and then when you're ready to get them throughout your day, you just go to the pickup window for that kiosk to get your stuff. So
that's cool. So that's pretty efficient.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's good. And when I was there, I happened to get an annual pass.
Yeah, it's funny how that happened, right?
So I don't know. I'm a magic key holder now.
Look at that,
which is weird because I don't know that that's why can't they just call us pass holders? They wanted just to get rid of any drama with
remnants
the pass
of the pass holder.
Yeah, they didn't want us to call ourselves pass holes anymore. I don't understand how magic key.
Yeah,
maybe after a while it'll
roll off your tongue,
off of everybody's tongue. I don't know. It
doesn't sound right. Why that you can't just be called an annual pass holder?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I call it an annual pass.
Well, still. Yeah, but congratulations. So you're an annual pass holder.
I was planning on buying one before I left, but then I couldn't decide how long I was going to stay for. So I didn't really have my flight home booked probably until a week and a half before I left because I didn't know if I wanted to stay longer.
So do we want to tell the people about the conversations we had about Carrie? How long are we staying? Are you staying or are you not? Are you staying or are you not?
I couldn't decide, so I was just going to buy one before I left, and I never did. So then when I was there, I was like, whatever. And then I was like, should I change my flight home? Because you can do one change.
We did have that conversation, too. Should you change it? Should you stay longer? Yeah.
I got my annual pass, and my DVC discount would not work there, because if anybody's a DVC owner and they go to Disneyland, you no longer can use your blue membership card because they're garbage. They don't exist anymore. You have to have a digital card. But I couldn't get my digital card in my wallet. I called DVC when I was sitting around one day. They couldn't help me. They called this DVC IT. They couldn't help me. They didn't understand what was going on. Because at Disneyland, I think in Florida, they would be able to scan what I had. I had the Walt Disney thing come up in my wallet, my Google Wallet. And I think at Disney World, they would scan that because they have the infrastructure and IT stuff to scan that stuff. But at Disneyland, they don't scan anything.
No.
So they needed to see a certain thing on my app, which wasn't working, and the DVC people couldn't help me either.
So you just didn't get a discount?
I did. Well, a couple people, the very first time I used it, which is when we bought quite a bit of stuff, the young man, behind the cash, he didn't even talk about it. He just said, okay, and he was punching on the screen to try to figure out how to give me my discount. And then after that, everybody else, except for one person, wouldn't give it to me. Because they said that I had to show them the proper thing in my wallet. Terrible. Because they can't scan it. Because I guess there's different levels of DVC, or the people that do the resale, they don't get the discount or something.
That's right. So if you buy your DVC direct from Disney, you get the discount. But if you're buying it resale now, you buy from someone else on the resale market, you don't get the perks that come with it. So I get it. But then they're penalizing you for it.
I know. And because they said my membership card was garbage. It was useless. And because they don't have the same technology as Walt Disney World, they couldn't scan anything to verify, which I'm pretty sure what I have, it'll be interesting to see when I'm in Florida if what I have on my Google wallet will actually work, because Walt Disney World will scan it. I think that's how it might work.
That's terrible. But I guess in Disneyland, maybe it's not such a big deal because they don't have as many DVC people because they only have one DVC resort.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not quite a big issue.
Floridians and everyone else that's a DVC person must go to California at some point. It's just they need.
I don't know that it's a month that everybody just goes, but we'll go with that. We'll give you that.
The way that it should have came up on my Google Wallet, it was like when I could click through for it to show, it just said DVC with a Y, and I guess it should have been on my app so that it would show like more about my there should have been
membership,
an extra barcode or an extra QR code or something that said what type of membership I had, because I couldn't show them that. They were like, "You're out of luck." But then I ended up getting my annual pass, and then I just used my annual pass discount.
Right.
So I'm covered there.
Yeah. That annual pass really comes in handy.
But it'll be interesting to see if I want to see if this Google Wallet app thing, the QR code or whatever I have, if it works in Florida, or if I'm just screwed up completely, like if my DVC thing is messed up completely.
Yeah, you need to get that fixed. Like when you buy DVC, that's a big perk, is your discount, and you want to make sure that you're getting it.
Yeah. Like I said, DVC couldn't help me.
Crazy.
I was a lost cause.
So you enjoyed the parks. You did some shopping.
I did a little bit of shopping. I rode Soarin' Over California.
Oh yes, exciting.
The nighttime spectaculars have not returned, so that was, I knew my timing was off a little bit, so
right.
That'll have to be
go back for that.
A future trip, hence the Magic Key.
The Main Street Electrical Parade is coming to Disneyland.
Mm-hmm. And the World of Color is coming back. And they're doing Disneyland Forever. So they had the Mickey's Mixed Magic, dance-a-thon as the fireworks, which is all right. It's fun, but, not as good as the...
So no nighttime stuff for you while you were there, but you did
just
enjoy any good food, good purchases.
Yeah, watch the lights, the neon come on in Cars Land.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because that's like the best time.
That root beer float in Cars Land is pretty tasty too, from the Cozy Cone. I bought it for the Instagram picture, or the picture to just have a picture of it, and then I was like, oh, this is delicious. I'm going to put this on my must-do list from now on. And then I caught up with one of our listeners, Alexis.
Yes.
So that was awesome.
So how fun was that? So we had Alexis messaged and said she was going to be there at the same time as you.
And I'm like, I'll see ya. So we met up.
Where did you meet up?
At DCA. So they were there they were doing the tasting card at the festival. So we were back and forth. Like I actually left, that was like my last park day. So I got to the park. I had a Disneyland park pass reservation. I went to Disneyland, and she was over at DCA. And then she came over to Disneyland, and I told her, but I had already went over to DCA, I think. But I wanted to leave. I went to the Orange Circle because I wanted to go to an antique mall to buy some of Justin Scar's merch, because I wanted to support him. So I left the property and I went over there. And then when I came back, I think that's sort of when I think she was in Disneyland and I was in DCA, and then she came back over and we just sat and chatted. I think I was eating one of my festival treats, and we sat for a little bit, and she told me about her travels and talked a little bit about them, how they come to Disneyland and what they do and how they do it, and it was nice.
That's awesome.
Nice. Took some pictures, and they had arrived early that day, so they were like running out of fuel, so they were going to go back for a nap or go for the day so that they could start fresh the next day, because they go for a couple days. They go for little jaunts.
I am so glad you guys got to meet up. That was so fantastic. She sent me a note. She's like, "Oh my gosh, I might cry when I meet Carrie."
We just chit-chatted. It was good.
That's so fun.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. Though.
So you had that day by yourself. You thought you were going to be alone that day,
and I had a friend.
And you had a friend. Mm-hmm. That's so. See, we always talk about how great it is when we hear from listeners, but there you are. You got to meet one while you were there. Fun stuff.
It was just what I needed. I needed to have someone to hang out with for a little bit. So
there you go. Okay, so we kind of skimmed over it just so everybody listening knows.
What did we skimmed over?
You were going to the antique mall to buy merchandise for Justin Scard, who is a YouTuber.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just, you say these things like people just automatically know, like Justin Scard, I'm going to go buy his merch to support him. I'm calling out that he's a YouTuber. I'll put a link to his channel in the show notes. And I've been there before,
so the Orange Circle is I don't know how far away it is. It's probably like a 10 or 15 minute drive. The Chapman University is over there. And it's just this cute little town where they've got antique malls and like coffee shops. And
did you Uber over?
I took an Uber over, a Lyft over there. Justin Scard would say it's a little bit more hipster than what it used to be back in the day, but it's like got cute little shops and there's actually a circle, like a roundabout circle in the middle of the little town, and they've got humongous orange trees so when you go up to the circle, you see the oranges hanging out of the trees or whatever. But anyways, I'd been there before. I brought almost, except for you probably, I brought every single person that I've been to Disneyland that is willing to leave the property. I've brought them to this Orange Circle. So I'd been there before, but I had wanted to, since the last time I had been there, he had put merch in one of the antique shops, so I wanted to go and do that. And I think Bob Gurr's got a little, there's a booth there with some of his stuff. I took some pictures, but some of the posters, I'm probably gonna wreck them if I try to bring them home. But he had their signed pictures and stuff in the little Bob Gurr.
Oh, that is fun.
I took pictures, but I forgot to send them to you. But anyway, so I went over there to get my merch and looked around a little bit because I could look around. The antique stores there are very like pop culture heavy. So there's lots of Disneyland stuff. There's not so much, like really old, there's some old antiques, but like if you were to go to an antique mall here, it would be like 5% like pop culture stuff and then 95% like regular antiques. And there it's probably more like 50, and like it's more like antiques that are like mid-century stuff versus like really, really old. So it's like, it's perfect. I can look around those places all day long because it's just everything. When I go to antique malls here, like, again, it's like, it's a treasure hunt because when you find like the stuff that you really, really like, there's so little of it. But yeah, there's a couple of antique malls there that are just chock full of stuff. And the Disneyland stuff and Disney stuff, I think, is pretty expensive. Like probably, maybe because it's a bit touristy or whatever, But yeah, it's exciting. So I was there for a couple of hours, and then I jumped back in my my Uber or Lyft, and then went back to Disneyland.
Maybe next time I'm there.
I don't know that you'll like it.
You don't think I'd like it? So the fried chicken's on the list, but not the
I don't know that you'd want to like hang out at an antique mall, would you?
I don't know that I'd want to hang out. I could probably wander through, but like. I don't know that I'd want to spend hours.
Yeah, I knew that I wanted to get back, so I probably was out and about for a couple of hours and then
I feel like this episode is Carrie's California adventure because we've basically covered you didn't just do, so that's the difference. When I go to Disneyland. That's it.
There's so much to see and do in California. Like, I've only, like, scratched the surface. I've got, like, 20 more things on my list that I'd like to do.
On your to-do list? Mm-hmm. Did we cover your trip well, do you think?
I guess so. I don't know. Like, we didn't really talk about Disneyland too much, but it was beautiful.
It was the same. It was beautiful. Did you cry?
Yeah. No. I get a little teary-eyed whenever I see the Disneyland band. Like, I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't matter. Yeah. One time, 1,000 times. That's what gets me. So.
You did some good. I will say that your talent for taking me shopping, or at least looking at stuff, is pretty good. So Carrie's pretty good at calling me on video chat and then walking me through the store so I can see firsthand what's there, and I can say, wait,
she didn't really like anything because she's like, no.
Why they got all these tank tops? Like, put a sleeve on it. Those tank tops were beautiful, but then when you got over to them, they didn't have sleeves on them. I don't wear tank tops.
The styles of everything, like the design on everything, is amazing. Like now, they've got some great, the design of stuff is amazing. It's just everything has no sleeves right now, it seems.
I know. So tank tops are back in fashion?
They're not even tank tops. They're like just sleeveless. Like, I don't even, like, I think that If you understand what I'm saying, a tank top's a tank top. These aren't tank tops. These look like you've cut the arms off.
What do you mean
them.
A tank top's a tank top? Like, what's a tank top?
What's it called? Like, when you cut the arms off of something. A tank top to me is something that's like meant to be a tank top. They've made it. They've cut the arms off. They've sewed a hem around the arm so that it looks like it's something you've purchased. The shirt, the sleeveless garments that they have right now look like you've cut the arms off of them. So.
But you didn't bother to put a hem on them.
Whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think people probably understand what I'm talking about.
We'll see.
So they have a really neat line of Disneyland resort stuff. Like it's black and blue and purple and like white. So those like it's either a white shirt with like, black and bright purple and bright blue, like that vibrant like jewel toned or black with those colors on it. Like there's a whole line of that's like totally awesome. The one thing I bought a pair of new Crocs. They have like Minnie Mouse Crocs. So they're like Croc sandals. They're not Crocs. They're Croc sandals. So that was kind of my
they were cute.
Big purchase.
They were
very cute. My Croc sandals because after you convert them to Canadian, they're probably like $80, $90 sandals.
Now you were texting people back home to see if they needed a pair.
Yeah, just
when we were on the call.
Pair.
You just bought one.
I just bought one pair, but yeah.
Good.
But yeah, I didn't really buy too much,
And you took a full size suitcase too.
Oh my goodness! Like, honest to goodness, like you think, well, I get a suitcase for free, so I might as well check it. But yeah, like I could have brought a person in it. That's how like the whole half side, the one half side was like half of it was empty. And then like when I was there, I like felt this pressure to like find something big to buy. And then I saw like
to fill it up. Did you get a puzzle or something?
No, I didn't because I think I pretty much bought them all, and you've brought them home for me. So I didn't buy any puzzles. And then I was I'm like, should I find something big to bring home? And then I saw those Bob Gurr posters. Thought that would be kind of neat. But then I thought, no, my luck, I'll wreck them. So I don't want to do that. So I was like trying to find something big, but I never bought anything big. So then my suitcase was pretty much empty on the way home too. I bought a Starbucks mug, and I bought one of those like a Disney, like the Disneyland resort stuff I was talking about. I brought like one of those glasses home and some Croc sandals and that's about it. Some popcorn and stuff and treats, but
you had room if you needed it.
Oh my goodness. And I think I just felt the pressure to buy something, to find something to take up the space.
Never pressure.
I thought, do you think they'll have any Christmas trains left? How many
Christmas trains can I fit in my suitcase?
Is there any more puzzles that I haven't bought yet? Maybe some Lego? Should I go in the Lego store?
Of course, this is why you had room, right? Like when you come down to Florida or California with just your carry-on, then you're buying puzzles. Then they got all the new puzzles,
it's only
and Carrie
because
can't fit them.
You tell me that you'll take home anything I need. Like I seriously could have taken this trip in a knapsack. Like I bring my laptop. If I didn't have a laptop, I could have definitely just had a knapsack. Like, what do you need? You're only there so many days. Like, knapsack. And I had this humongous suitcase.
You know what?
That I could have brought a small person in.
I was thinking about you the other day. My nephew and I, we're taking turns. We have to stay at my sister's for a few nights. I was thinking about you the other day as I was packing my bag to go to my sister's, who, by the way, lives 2 blocks from my house. I'm packing my bag and I'm counting out the days I'm going to be there. And I'm like, okay, so I need 3 t-shirts. How many were in my bag to go 2 blocks away to stay at my sister's?
Just in case you wake up and you don't feel like wearing that t-shirt that day?
I was like, because on Wednesday, I have these meetings, so I really shouldn't wear a Disney shirt, but I really want to bring this Mickey shirt. So then I just bring both. And then I decide in the morning which one I want to wear.
Like, I'm pretty sure I messaged you and said, like, well, I've got like 7 shirts packed or 8 shirts packed, but I only am going to need 6.
I know. And
like,
I was
why am I bringing those extra? And you know what? I didn't even wear. I wore the shirts that I needed to wear.
But you had options. Options are always important, Carrie.
I guess.
Always important.
For you, but not for me. I'll just wear what I scheduled myself to wear.
What you get.
Exactly. Like I had extra shoes. Like I wore a pair of like Real Runners, and then I had like a pair of Croc flip flops, and then I had my little like Toms or whatever they're called, my little cat shoes that I wear. Like I had those, and like yeah, I'm like, why did I even bring all these shoes? Like, I'm like, well, I had the space, so I guess I'll just bring all these shoes.
Yeah, that's what happens. See, when I get to go back, I now have these new runners that I probably will only have one pair of shoes.
Wow.
Because I really love them. Maybe.
One pair, that's it.
We'll see.
And you will bring 4 of them, and then think of the room you'll have for t-shirts.
I know. Exactly. It's going to work out. Mm-hmm. So, Carrie's California Adventure. I think that's the title of this episode.
Great.
Carrie's California Adventure.
It wasn't an adventure. It was a little jaunt.
Well,
not too many nights. Lots of different spots.
I missed you.
Oh, shucks.
Notice she doesn't say, I missed you too. I wish you did. No, because then she wouldn't have got to go to Knott's Berry Farm. Right. And her...
I talked to you all along. I tried to bring you along. I sent you pictures. I was giving you play-by-play.
You did. It was very good. You kept me completely informed.
Yeah, that's what I was trying.
Awesome. Well, welcome home.
Thank you.
Welcome home.
Tell me.
And so our podcast listeners, you won't know the next trip Carrie's going on until after she's taken it.
I'm back.
So she's back.
Let me tell you.
Yeah. So, and it's funny because I was hearing, there's a lot of Disneyland episodes we had done recently. We talk about, and then it was like, and I couldn't say anything like, well, she's got another trip planned. So anyway, there we go. Carrie. Mm-hmm. It's that time of the podcast.
It's that time. Pixie dust time.
What's your pixie dust this week?
Can I just keep singing bad songs, bad tunes, and then you'll be like, then the what's it, the cane with the hook will pull me off.
Oh, remember that? They used to do that on the Muppets, didn't they? With the little cane, hook them. Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, okay.
Anyways,
Carrie,
my pixie
what's
dust.
your pixie dust?
I think my pixie dust is that I went for dinner tonight with a friend that I hadn't connected with for a long time. So she's
nice.
a colleague, and we haven't. We work together, but we've been working from home for the last couple of years, and we said let's get together, and we went to a little town, just the next town over, so we could support a mom and pop. Went to a cute little restaurant, and we went for an early dinner because by the time we were leaving, I had to get home in time to record a podcast. But by the time we were leaving, the place was starting to get a little hopping.
Nice.
But it was nice. We caught up and talked about her plans and my plans and what we've been up to, and it was fun.
Nice.
So it was nice to spend an early dinner after work.
That's good. Now that you've said that, I'm going to have that song in my head now.
What song?
Let's get together, yeah. Remember from the Parent Trap? Yeah. That's good. Well, that sounds like a fun time.
It was really nice. And then we said we have to just, do it again because, you don't catch up enough sometimes with the people that you need to.
Yeah.
So.
And now that all the restrictions and stuff are open, it's important to be social. Mm-hmm. See people. Yeah.
Yep, for sure.
Yep.
What's your pixie dust?
My pixie dust is that I actually got to try this new thing. So my sister was like, "Oh my gosh, she was craving Booster Juice." So I don't know if you've heard of this place.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, so there's this place. It's called Booster Juice, and it's juices.
Probably everybody knows Booster Juice but me and you. Everyone's like, I go there every day.
Seriously, I posted it on my Instagram story, and I'm like, finally trying, my first Booster Juice. And the amount of responses I got where people are like, seriously, you've never had one? Like, how have you not... Whatever. Anyway, so hadn't had one. And you can go and get different kinds. We got the high impact acai. I don't know how you say it. I don't even know what this thing is. It's ACAI. Acai. Is that like a vegetable?
No, I think it's a fruit. It's a berry.
Okay, whatever. So it's like a slushy almost, and it's got this acai, raspberries, cranberries, skim milk, vanilla frozen yogurt, and whey protein. Yeah. And then you can get a booster. So I got mine with
you
like...
bought into that.
Of course I did. I'm like, yeah, sign me up, baby. I want some extra energy. Put some of that in mine. So yeah, it was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. A bit expensive though. I think it's like $7 for the drink. And of course I knew nothing. My sister said she wanted it. But then we also got wraps for lunch. And it was
Booster Juice?
Booster Juice. So it was an egg white and cheese wrap. So it was an egg white patty with Monterey Jack cheese and salsa on it. It was really, really delicious. So anyway, that was my pixie dust. I've now discovered Booster Juice, and I might just go back and get more.
I think I had a Booster Juice once, and it was with Carolyn at the airport. She paid. And because she's like, let's get a Booster Juice before our flight. And I'm like, okay. And I think our Booster Juices at the airport, like two of them cost like $24 or $28. And I was like, and that's probably why I've never had another Booster Juice. Because I was like, be it. Dang, that was expensive. And I didn't even buy it. And I was like, dang.
It's like all fresh fruits and stuff. And you can get, like, they have all different kinds. You can get spinach. You can get like a whole bunch of different stuff. And I might go back and try like a different flavor because I didn't know what to order, so I just ordered the same as what Becky wanted.
Booster Juicer fan, a Booster Juicer you never regular.
Know. You never know.
Just don't get it at the airport because then you'll be like, wow.
Yeah, it was good. There's
a Booster Juicer at downtown Disney at Disneyland.
It's not a juicer. It's a juice. It's just
Booster Juice. There's a Booster Juice at Disneyland. So maybe by then you'll be a pro. You'll be like, "Come on, Toots, let me get you a Booster Juice."
Yeah,
and then you'll be like,
maybe I'll need all this energy.
For you. I got this. I'll order for you. I know what you want.
We need the Acai. We need the booster. We need the energy. We need the energy shots.
It'll be on you.
Exactly. I'll know what to do by then. Don't you worry. Cool. Well, thanks, Carrie. This is fun as always. And next week, hopefully, we're lining up some guests that we've got in the next few episodes. So looking forward to that. And yeah, I guess I'll see you next week.
See you soon.
Thanks for listening to the Pixie Dust Fan Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the episode.
Make sure you're following us on your favorite podcast player so you'll get a new episode every week. And find us on social media too. We'd love to hear from you.
Till next time, remember, you are never too old to be young. Chase your dreams and design your own happily ever after.